Glad to see you all here today. And let's see, we have Leslie Ann and Kimberly Miller. Welcome, Kimberly. So today we are going to have the GoFor Lunch Monsoon Edition. So if you are new here, please type your name and new in the comments so we can get to know you. Be aware that in order to type into the comments, you need to be logged into YouTube, which means you need to have a Gmail address, and your Gmail address is your Google account, and YouTube is part of Google. So once you sign in, you get all the Google services, including YouTube, and you can make comments. So here at you see what I tried to do here? I tried to make room for my picture so it wouldn't cover up the U, and then I didn't look at the other end there, and I messed up the M. Anyway, our goal here at GoFor Technology is to make your technology work for you. I'm Roger Harmon, and that's what I do. I can do it in person, or I can do it by doing a share your screen sometimes, depending on your internet speed and whether the wind is blowing in the right direction. So today we're going to talk about fun with folders on GoFor Lunch number 64. Wait, there's a news flash. Apple services were down on Monday. You know how sometimes we have a bad Monday? Well, Apple yesterday had a bad Monday. So their services, including Find My, which means find my iMac, find my iPhone, find my AirTags, iCloud bookmarks and tabs, iCloud Calendar, iCloud Contacts, iCloud Drive. We're going to talk about iCloud Drive here a little later, so keep that in mind that it was down. iCloud Keychain, iCloud Mail, and Photos. If you have your iCloud photo library turned on, then it wasn't available yesterday between 7 a.m. and 11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. So we're gonna discuss the ramification of that. But when you try to access some of Apple's services and they don't work, here are two places you can go to check and see what's going on. The first place is Down Detector. That's a website. There's also an app for your iPhone and iPad. And Down Detector is a crowd source. That means that people like you and me go there and we complain that a service isn't working, and then we can see from other people like you and me that they're also having problems. So we know it's not about us, it's about them. So any service, Netflix, Amazon, anything that you can imagine is going to be listed on Down Detector. And of course, if it's an Apple service that's not working, then the easiest way to find out is to go to your web browser and just simply search on Apple system status, and you'll get a page that shows their system status with all their different services listed. It's a very long list. It's like 3 columns of things, and if there's a little green dot next to it, that means it's working. And most of the time, almost all the time, I would say 99% of the time, it's working. But you know, there's a lot of users out there. A lot of people have been buying Macs and iPhones and iPads. I mean, millions and millions and millions of people. And it takes a very large infrastructure to keep all those balls in the air. And sometimes they drop them. So we just have to understand that. And unfortunately, it's probably not going to get better. Hopefully it will, but be aware that problems can occur. Uh-oh, more news flashes. So an Apple security update went down yesterday and a few days ago as well. So, oops, I knew I was going to mess that up. Okay, so we got to go backwards here and get that. And Apple Services Monday. Okay, so a little review, down detector, Apple support. Okay, here we go. So we're going to go to Safari. There we are. Okay, so you get to this by going to searching for Apple security updates. Obviously, that's not a very friendly URL up there. So we look over here in the right column and see the date. So yesterday, Apple brought out iOS 14.7.1 and iPad OS 14.7.1. So if you have an iPhone 6S or later, any iPad Pro, an iPad Air 2 or later, an iPad 5th generation or later, an iPad Mini 4 or later, and an iPad Touch 7th generation, then you can do these updates. If you're running Big Sur, you can do it. If you're running Catalina, there was one on the 21st, as well as one for Mojave. So these are security updates. So that means Apple has suggested strongly that you do those right away because there are vulnerabilities. We call them out in the wild, which means they have been seen to be used by hackers. Now, chances are you are not a target. So it's not anything to get really ruffled about. But again, when Apple suggests we do a security update, then it's probably a good idea to do it. So if you have automatic updates turned on, you don't have to worry. Normally, we suggest that you don't have automatic updates turned on because sometimes the updates break things. So we wait a week or so, do a search and see, like in this case, we'd say, we'd search for does 14.7.1, iOS 14.7.1 have any problems? And if we didn't find anything, then we would go ahead and update it. But this time, let's just update it because this is supposedly just security patches and shouldn't break anything. Okay, now back to our regularly scheduled program. Fun with folders. So when you get your Mac from Apple, there are some folders already installed. Now, there's a documents folder. So here is where I wanted to talk to you in light of the iCloud being down for 3 hours yesterday. So in the last several operating systems, you also get a pictures folder as well as a music folder. And then there's, of course, the apps folder and others. So folders are how we organize things on our Mac. So then you start creating documents and you install apps and you do other things on your Mac, so you need to be creating new folders to keep yourself organized. So, how do we create a folder? Well, when you're on your Mac, you want to make sure that in the upper left-hand corner it says Finder. So then you click on that, or you can click on the Happy Mac Happy Mac face in the left-hand lower corner of your screen in the dock, and open into the Finder. And then you want to navigate where you want to create a folder. So let's say you want to create a folder in the Documents folder. You would click on the Documents folder in your side panel there on the left. And you do that by then going to File in the menu bar. In the drop-down menu, you click on New Folder, or to be really efficient, you would use Shift Command and the keyboard shortcut. Now, you don't have to get rid of Untitled Folder, which is what it's going to say there. You just start typing and it wipes that out automatically. So just start typing, name your folder, you press Return, and it will automatically alphabetize that folder by the name you just typed in. Oh my goodness, does your desktop look anything like this? I hope not. So we're going to talk about why that's not a good thing. And you're saying, oh, I got to be able to find my stuff. Well, we're going to be able to find your stuff without having lots of files and images and videos on your desktop. And the reason that that's a bad idea is because it slows down your Mac. Because the Finder has to look through all that stuff before it can do anything else when you ask it to do something. So it is not good. Plus, when you back things up, the backup programs think that everything that you're backing up is in your Documents folder. So you can have your cake and eat it too, and we will show you how to do that. So let's think about some folders that you might want. So these are common things that probably everybody can use. Of course, you're going to have folders for projects that you're working on that go above and beyond these suggestions. How about a folder for health? You know, we have to many times download forms from our doctor's website and then fill out those forms. So you could have the blank form, which is usually a PDF, and you would have the form that you filled out with your information. Also, they want a list of your medications, so that would be something you could keep in your health folder. When you buy something new, you would be a good idea to go to the manufacturer's website and receipts. Now, there's three ways that you could handle receipts, and one of them is actually already built in. There's a folder that Apple put in there at the factory. And so let's see how that works, shall we? So we're going to switch over here. So we're in Mail. So maybe we want to, let's just pretend that we are using the correct mouse, because I'm on a different computer, has a different mouse. So we're going to search for a receipt up here in the upper right hand corner, REC, and let's see, C. Okay, so here's RECE, Let's see, receipt. Okay, here's one of my meal services so I don't starve. Okay, so here is a receipt. So if you use the built-in system for saving receipts, you would go to File, you would go to Print. Okay, you with me? And okay, you lost audio. Good thing I checked. Is the audio back? Okay, thank you, Susan. Okay, so I don't know why we lost audio on that, but you know, always something. So I'm assuming that we have audio back and we're not muted. Good. Okay, so down here we went to File, we went to Print, we click on Print, the Print dialog box comes up, we go to PDF in the lower left hand corner, we click on the little down arrow with the blue background, and look what we find here. Save to web receipts. That's built in from Apple. You didn't have to do anything except know that it was here. So we click on that and it saved this receipt to that built-in receipts folder. So you say, oh, Roger, how will I ever find that? Well, I'm glad you asked. Of course, you will use Roger's best tip that he ever told you, Command spacebar, which brings up Spotlight. And then we simply type in WEB, and we look down. Oh, there it is right there. It's already highlighted, so we hit Return, and there is our receipts folder. So that's one way to do it. Number two way to do it, and the way I do it, actually, I guess I have 4 ways that I could do it. Okay, you want to do the receipt thing again? All right, Leslie Ann. So here we are. We have a receipt that we got from an email. We go up to File. We go down to Print. We click on Print. We go to PDF. We slide down here to Save to Web Receipts. We click on that, and bam, it goes to Web Receipts. To find that receipt, we simply go to Command spacebar to bring up Spotlight. I already typed it in, so we'll pretend I just typed it in. It's already there, it's highlighted, so I just hit Return or double click on Web Receipts, and there you see we have that receipt in there a second time. Okay, so that's that receipt thing. So another way to do receipts is when we have a receipt, I have a mailbox. So in mail, they call folders mailboxes. Now, when I run the world, these little icons will look like mailboxes instead of folders, so it's not so confusing, but until then, these are called mailboxes and they look like folders. So you would simply drag it in to folders, to orders to, you see orders to down here, or we go back to the inbox and we lost our search here. The other way to do it is to go here to move to, and this is maybe different, and you see here's orders to, and if you do that a lot, orders to will actually be right up here in where it says move to. So that's another way. Now another way that I do it is I also put it in my Evernote, and so I actually save receipts in several different places. So that's how we can save receipts. So if you have any more questions about that, thank you, Leslie Ann. Let's see. So obviously my audio is working. So here we are. Now, taxes are something, of course, that we need to organize. And of course, you would probably put in a folder under the taxes folder. We call those subfolders for each year. So you'd have a 2021, 2020, 2019, etc. And then some of you have already started traveling. I know at least one person that's traveling today. So another common folder would be travel, where you would put in your airline itinerary, your hotel information, any sites that you wanted to see, and those could all be in your travel folder. So let's do something that we need to do. Okay, so we open the downloads folder in the menu bar by hitting go, and then in the drop down we click on downloads. So then we resize that downloads window so it's about half of the screen. And then we go back to the menu bar to file, and we click on new Finder window. So now we have a second window, and of course we make that the other half so we can see those two windows. And then in the sidebar we click on documents. So in one window we've got downloads, and in the other window we have documents. So why don't we see what that looks like? And it looks like this. So we are going to, okay, why is that not working? Okay, here we go. So I was practicing this, so I'm going to unpractice this. So here we are in our downloads folder. Okay, you see where it says downloads up there in the kind of the top left. So right now I am in the list view. So we have several different views here. And for this part of it, the list view is what we want to have. So we can sort the list view by clicking on name, which sorts everything alphabetically. So you see we're at the top here now. And we have something that starts with a 0, a number, and then A's. So now we can also sort by kind. So right now everything is in alphabetical order by the name of the file. We click on kind over here at the top of the kind column, and now everything is sorted by kind. So we have all of our JPEGs in one place, and if we scroll down here we have all of our HEIFs, which is a new image type. So it's supposed to be better than JPEG, supposed to look better and take up less room. And we have some other things. So at your first sweep through your downloads folder, you can get rid of some things just because of what they are. And those things are, number one, a .dmg. So that is a disk image. Okay. So I don't have very many because I'm a good boy and I keep them cleaned out. So we're going to get rid of this. So the way we get rid of this is we hold down the command key and we hit delete. Command delete, and it's in the trash. So let's find some other files that we can just get rid of without even looking at them. So another one is an ICS file. So you see we have 3 ICS files. These are calendar events that somebody sent or you downloaded when you went to a webinar or something. And if the date for the ICS file is less than today's date, you don't need those anymore because either you put them in your calendar and it's gone or you didn't and it's gone. So we click on the top or the bottom, we hold down the shift key, we click shift click on the other end, we select all the ICS files, we hold down the command key and we hit delete. Okay, no, look, what's this? APKG, another compressed file. Oh wait, there's another one right here. So when there's only 2, you can hold down the command key and select that one. You can also do this if things are not in contiguous order. Command delete, those are gone. I wonder if we have any other kinds of compressed files. Oh, look at this. It's a zip, another compressed file, and we don't need that. So command delete, it's out of here. Okay, of course you need to empty your trash every once in a while, like at least once a month, or you can turn that on to be having it automatically download. Okay, so now we are still here sorting by kind, which is a good thing, but in this case I want to see what these look like. Okay, so I can know what they are. So I have a bunch of photos here that I used for the scanner bin episode on GoFor Lunch. For some reason I named them shutter bin, but that's another story. So what I did over here is I created a new, so first of all I went to File and I went to New Finder Window. Okay, so we'll pretend that we're doing that right now since it's already here. Okay, so that created this window right here. Then if I hit my back arrow, you can see here is my Documents folder. You notice how it says Local. So that tells me that these documents are on my Mac and not over here in iCloud Drive. You can see there is a bunch of stuff in iCloud Drive. I keep stuff in iCloud Drive so I can access it in any of my Macs. But we want to be in Documents Local. Okay, so here's my shutter bin folder that I created by going to New Folder. Right there. It comes up as untitled. I don't have to do anything except start typing. Since I already created the folder that I want for this demonstration, I'm going to call this delete to let me know that I can get rid of it, and then when I click out of there, it automatically alphabetizes it. Okay, but let's go back to our example here, scanner bin. So I could just drag these photos of the scanner bin over here and try to drop it on this folder, or I could create a larger target by double clicking on the folder, and now I can hit it anywhere in this area. So now unfortunately shift click does not work here in the icon mode. So if I go down here, I clicked on the first scanner bin picture, I hold down the shift key on the last one, and it's not even clicking on that one. That's interesting. When I did this before, it did. Anyway, so what we're going to do is we're going to go back up here to View, and we're going to click on the List View, which is the 3 horizontal lines. Okay, so there they are. So I'm going to have to click out of this. So I'm going to click on the top one, and I could also start at the bottom. Before I click on the bottom one of all these that I want to put into the folder, I hold down my shift key, I click, I drag, I drop. Okay, so as you can see, all the pictures that I selected there are over in the scanner bin folder, and they are no longer here in the downloads folder. Okay, so then I would go through. Now, if I have other things here, let's go down here to some of these JPEGs. So the next thing you have to do is look at each one of these and decide whether or not you want to delete it or keep it. So the way we do that is we use quick look. So if I right click on this, you see that quick look is a choice. So this is a contextual menu. I got to this by right clicking on the file name, but there's a better way. So all you do is you select the file by clicking on it once, and then you hit your space bar and you can see what it is. You could hit Command Delete right from here and get rid of it, or if you want to keep it, you could drag it right down into your Photos icon. And then it would go into Photos. Now, if it's already in Photos, then it'll tell you it's a duplicate, so you don't have to worry about duplicates. Another thing you can do here is you can hit your down arrow and you can go to the next picture. So this is a screenshot from a Zoom meeting. You can hit your download. So this is something that we made up for Buy Me a Coffee, I think, and so forth. Okay, and then to get out of quick look, you just hit the space bar. Okay, so let's look and see if we have any questions about that. So we went over some stuff there. The audio is out when I'm the only person on the screen. Okay, thank you, Bob, for answering that question. Okay, I don't know what's going on. So if I'm the only person on the screen, like right now, it's muted. Okay, now hopefully we fix that. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to stop here and look at the comments. So, sorry. Okay, so I'm the only person on the screen. Hi, Mark and Carolyn and Susan. And thank you for letting me know, Jim. And okay, so I think we fixed the audio problem. I don't know why that was doing that. And okay, Leslie Ann. Okay. Audio. All right, so we fixed that. Okay, so thank you, Bob, for answering the question about an alias. So that's a very good question, Carolyn. And the reason it's a very good question is because that's how you can clean up your messy desktop. I left all the left the doors open last night, and I think some mold or something came in and is attacking my throat today. So please bear with me. And I even tried to let some raw honey rest in my throat, and that didn't seem to work. So I had to figure out a better thing to get my throat to work. Okay, so when you have that messy desktop, you can create, if you want to keep stuff on your desktop, you can create folders that are aliases, and they are very small. So they don't take up a lot of room, so it doesn't slow down your Mac. So that's a way to clean up your desktop without getting that functionality. But the better way to do it would be just to put an alias of your documents folder on your desktop. And then when you want to see your documents, you click on that and there they are. Okay, let's get back to the rest of our program. So, your downloads folder contains apps that you downloaded. Those were the ones we talked about. We'll talk about those again in a second. It used to be that all the attachments to your emails from your mail app in older versions of Mac OS went into the downloads folder. Now, right now, I tested that in preparation for our little get-together today, and that doesn't seem to be happening anymore. But those, when it did happen, those could have been pictures, videos, even logos from companies that sent you email. So again, the ones that you can just trash without even looking at them are the .pkg package installer files, the DMG disk images, the zip files, and the ICS, which are the calendar events. Okay, so hopefully we've learned about folders. If we haven't, please ask questions. While we're waiting for the questions to come in, please share the GoFor Gazette with anybody you know that has a Mac, an iPhone, or any Apple device so they can join us. Also, please subscribe if you haven't already and hit that little bell so you'll be notified when we are live. Okay. And so we had a question that was sent in yesterday because Shirley is on an airplane right now, and she wanted to know that once she saved everything in email folders, which we learned earlier are actually called mailboxes in the Mail app, and it was fine until they disappeared, and she couldn't even find them in Time Machine. So as a result, she lost lots of great recipes and chronicled dialogues. So again, folders in Apple Mail versus folders in the Finder. So folders in Apple Mail are called mailboxes, and of course folders in the Finder are called folders. So what I would do is, just like we showed earlier with the receipts example, I would store those recipes or whatever you want to get from a mail message on your Mac locally and not in Mail. And because if I don't know if you're using Gmail, sometimes Gmail will louse that up. So just a little reminder. Okay. So let's see if we have any other questions. Okay, Jim has a great question. So in the GoFor Gazette, which you're going to share with at least one person this week, we had a tip about getting your lightning port. That's this little guy right here, where you put in your lightning cable, which is this guy right here. See if we can get that to show up. Maybe if we put it there. Okay, so it's hard to see here, and I'm not going to really take it really close because my camera has been staying out of focus. So I'm just going to explain it. So the example I had with a client, so on the lightning cable are these little gold looking vertical lines. Oh no, they're horizontal. No, they're vertical. Anyway, And I think there's 8 on each side. So my client bought a cable at a convenience store, and the little gold contacts on both sides in several places had worn off. And I think what happened was that they got lodged in the lightning port on her iPhone. And then she got this strange message about your phone has been exposed to water, let it dry out, blah, blah, blah. So we used a bamboo toothpick or something similar and a thin microfiber cloth, and we actually used a paper towel, I think, or a high quality tissue that was closely woven so it wouldn't break off any fibers inside the lightning port. And we found some black substance in there. And then I took it to the Apple La Encantada. They did all their magic. They got their little cleaning tools out. They ran diagnostics. And they said everything is fine. So that's a long answer to what is MFI. MFI is made for iPhone. So that means that the company that sells the cable has passed Apple's certification process, and they are certified to meet all of Apple's specs, which would include the quality of the materials that they use so that they don't flake off. So MFI, you should always look for that. And chances are, when you're buying your cables at a convenience store, they're not MFI. Okay. So Leslie Ann has a question. And she wants to know, the little bell, does it know when you're online? No, it doesn't know. It just sends you a notification whether you're online or not. So Carolyn wants to know, is there a preference for iCloud Drive over local drive? No. Well, yes, I guess the answer would be yes. When you are migrating your data from your old Mac to your new Mac, there's a checkbox in the Migration Assistant, and that checkbox is checked by Apple. The default is to move your Documents folder to iCloud Drive. So that would be the preference, I guess. So if you didn't uncheck that, then your documents may be on iCloud Drive. Again, that means that you cannot access them if you do not have internet access. So they don't come down when the internet is down or when Apple's servers are down like they were yesterday morning. So you can drag them back out of the Documents folder on iCloud Drive to a Documents folder, which I would name Documents Locals. So because you're going to have 2 Documents folders, so you want to make sure and distinguish between the local one and the one that just says Documents, which would be in iCloud Drive. Does that make perfect sense? I hope so. So if you need help with that, you need help getting your Downloads folder cleaned out, or anything else. Your printer doesn't work, if your Wi-Fi doesn't work the way you need it to work in the places in your house you need it and it's not working, anything like that, please let me know. I'd be glad to come and help you. So thank you for joining us today. I hope that the fun with folders has been a useful little exercise and that you will get your folders created and get those documents in the folders so you can find them easily, get them off of your desktop, get them out of your Downloads folder into your Documents folder. And remember, you can find anything with Command Spacebar. Tap the spacebar real fast to get Spotlight, If you tap the space bar slow, you get Siri. Don't ask me why. I don't know. So we'll be here next Tuesday at, okay, let's see. So we have one question that Jim is sneaking in. Thanks, Bob. And he would like to know if the documents also would be in the Time Machine backup, and if they are in iCloud, the answer is no. They're not, Time Machine does not back up iCloud. So, and iCloud shouldn't really be considered a backup. It's sort of a backup, but it's really more of a syncing system. So you should have a backup. You should have anything you want backed up using the 321 backup system. And if you want to review that, it's at the bottom of the Gopher Gazette every week. It's always down there. So go all the way to the bottom and review that. And as I mentioned to Leslie Ann, you're welcome, Leslie Ann. At the beginning of the program, there seems to be a problem with Monterey, which is the next Mac OS coming in the fall, and making a clone of your hard drive, which we suggest, especially if you have an older machine. So if you're not going to Monterey, it's not a problem. If you're getting a new computer, which will come with Monterey starting in probably September, October, then clones are questionable whether they will work. So just something to keep in mind. So there's no reason to go upgrade to Monterey unless you have some kind of an app or something that requires it. You are welcome, Mark. Good to see you here. So that's going to wrap it up for today, and we'll see you next week.